Yo, what's up, Blackish fam? It's your boy B. We're going to do another legal breakdown, another reaction. As you guys know, I'm a student of constitutional law, and I like breaking down and sharing things so people understand their rights, right? It's really important to understand the Fourth Amendment. It's the right to prevent against unreasonable search or unreasonable seizure. It's what protects you from the police just coming in your house and searching to see if you got weed or coke or a gun, right? They can't do that. They have to have a warrant. If they come in without a warrant, anything they find can be excluded, and you won't be charged with it, right? And there's some cases that really set certain rights in motion in the legal field. It's what they call precedent, right? So there's something like Steagald versus the U.S. This was back in 1981. Basically, what happened was the DEA, they have an arrest warrant for somebody named Lyons, right? And it's understood that the person is inside of the home of someone named Steagald. That's the person that's in this Steagald versus U.S., right? So the DEA, they have an arrest warrant. Okay, now it's really important to understand the difference between a search warrant and an arrest warrant, right? They have an arrest warrant to arrest this guy. They go to the house and they don't find the guy, but while they're in the home, one could say they're searching the home. Either way, either if they're searching or even if they see it in plain sight, a lot of times there's information and people get crazy. Well, if they see it in plain sight, then it means that they can go after it. No, it doesn't. What happened was the agents found a bunch of cocaine and a bunch of other evidence. They didn't find the guy that they were there to arrest, right? And then that guy was arrested and he was indicted on federal drug charges. That's a big deal, right? You're going to federal court, going to federal district court. And basically, the pre-trial, they did what's called a motion to suppress all the evidence uncovered because the lawyer is going to argue that it wasn't constitutional, right? It was illegally obtained because the DEA agents didn't get a search warrant that they shouldn't have been able to be allowed to search this home. Well, the court denied it, right? Steagald was convicted and he was going to have to go to prison. He appealed it. And this time the Court of Appeals actually affirmed the decision, the motion to suppress, right? So now the question that comes down to the Constitution, does the Fourth Amendment that protects you, prevents police officers from searching a suspect in their home, right, without obtaining a warrant, is this ban not protected? Well, the Supreme Court ruled, right, and it was 7-2. And they voted for the little guy, Steagald. This was actually Justice Marshall who said that the Fourth Amendment prevents all warrantless searches of your home unless there's clearly what they call exigent circumstances. Right? The officers in this case they had a warrant to arrest. They didn't have a warrant that extended to search the home. So there was no judicial oversight, right, to determine if there was grounds for an extension. So think about that. Now, a couple people did what's called dissenting. Justice Rehnquist, for example, he dissented and he argued that if the police possess a valid search warrant and believe the subject is in a third-party residence, right, they should be able to reasonably execute a search to carry out the arrest warrant. So the arrest warrant can serve as a search warrant because it functions to limit the scope of the search, right? But he also argued that the state has a compelling interest in a search because of the inherent mobility of the subject. Now, break that down. It basically says the police cannot just come into your home and search. They can't go into your car and search, right? There's different rules. And if they violate those rules, those protections are in place for you. It says that you can exclude anything that is found. That's why it's so important to understand your rights, right? Cops can't just say, well, you know what, I'm gonna get the dogs. If you don't allow me to search your car, I'm gonna search it one way or another. it's still very important that you say that you do not consent to the search of your person, your place, whatever it might be. And it's just as important to not say anything and never take a DUI test, right? Never do the sobriety test, whether it be for weed, whether it be for liquor, whatever that is. And you might ask yourself why, right? Well, it's because if you argue that you're saying no, right, that you're turning these things down, you're actively saying no, well, you're giving your lawyer the ability to fight that in court when it comes up. If you consent or you actually do the sobriety test and you fail, that's what's considered admissible in court. So it's really important to know the rules of the world, right? Never consent, but also never say it's okay for them to search your property or search the trunk, and let them know that, right? And you need to stand firm in that, and if possible, record it, right? Get a dash cam, something that you can reference if need be. If you're a fan of the legal breakdowns and you're like a student of the law, or you just like to be well versed in the laws that affect you, don't forget to not just like the video, but show love to the channel by subscribing as well.